Synergy Theater and Freestyle Repertory Theater proudly present Right Away. It's a show, it's a jam, it's the best of both worlds, and it's happening right now. Please welcome your host for the evening, Ken Adams. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Right Away. It is so awesome to have you here. I'm Ken Adams. I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater. Tonight's show, Right Away, is a co-production between Freestyle Repertory Theater in New York and Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California. Two companies divided by a continent, but united in the belief that improvisation is an important theatrical art form. We started presenting Right Away in May of 2020. Holy moly, it's been a long time. And we did that out of a desire to keep creative people creating together in spite of the isolation and uncertainty of the COVID pandemic. Now, however, the pandemic's over, kinda. And we're all back out into the real world, mostly. But anyway, it's important to us that we keep doing this because we just decided that it was too awesome a thing to stop. Now, here's how the show works. We have three playwrights who will have 45 minutes to write a brand new spanking play based on a suggestion from you, the audience. And while they're off writing, everyone in the audience, that's you, is invited to come on screen and play some writing improvisation games with us. I think you're going to want to use a paper and a pen or a pencil while we're doing that. So you might want to take a moment to grab some of that now. After each writing exercise, we'll hear as many of you in the jam read what you wrote as we can. And I encourage everyone to volunteer. It's just fun to share our work. It doesn't matter if you think it's good or bad or anything like that. It's just fun to share and allow people to hear your creativity. After 45 minutes, during which we will have been feeding the playwrights with additional suggestions that they'll work into their play, the playwrights will return and we will present the world premiere reading of their new work. Now, before we introduce tonight's playwrights, we have just a few things to go over. First, for those of you who are participating live on Zoom right now, we ask that you keep yourself muted and your video off for now. However, when the writing jam becomes a thing, then come back on screen. Please come on screen when we do the writing jam so that we can all be together and enjoy each other's creativity. Lastly, we invite you to please open up the chat feature, which you'll find if you hover your cursor at the bottom center of your screen. And we will be using the chat feature in order to get suggestions to inspire our playwrights. Now, speaking of playwrights, let's introduce tonight's intrepid writers. Our first playwright has been improvising for over 30 years, worked with Freestyle Repertory Theater for years, was an original cast member of the theater version of Right Away. We used to do this live in a live theater. This person is a television writer with 20 produced episodes, including on Suddenly Susan and That's So Raven. He now teaches writing for radio, TV, and film at Hofstra University, where he was just honored by being awarded tenure. Please welcome my friend, Jeff Tarson. Hello,
Hello.
Jeff Tarson. How
Hello.
are you?
Good. I am good.
It is very nice to see you. Congratulations on your tenureship.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
All right. Now,
much.
Jeff, what is one piece of advice you give your writing students that you are going to apply to yourself tonight as you write your play?
I think it is to not censor yourself. I mean, I think this is something, improv as well, but like to write, we used to call it sometimes a vomit draft. Get your first first version of a script out there. You can revise it. In this case, we can't. But sometimes those first drafts are the best and have all sorts of wonderful things. So that's what I'm going to try and hold on to today.
All right, a vomit draft. If I was ever glad that we're online, it is tonight. So if you'll follow Rusty off back to
Yes.
our writing nook, I think it's time to meet our next playwright. Our next playwright is a member of Freestyle Repertory Theater, the co-creator of Freestyle's newest school show called Right Now, a Right Away regular since the beginning in May 2020, and her play To Go or Not to Go was produced in Australia a couple of months ago and is now available to watch on YouTube. Please welcome Laura Valpy.
Hello, hello. Speaking
Hello.
of vomiting, no, I didn't. I didn't. This is not a gross story, but I took the kids to an amusement park this afternoon. We were at an amusement park and all is going well until Poppy wants one more ride. And I took her on one more ride and ooh, I was great at the roller coaster. I used to be able to do all of them. Something has changed.
Well,
Oh,
who
yeah.
vomited? You or Poppy?
I did not vomit, but I felt like I was going to. So when
All
Jeff
right.
said that, I just felt the need to share my state of being. I'm good now. Hence my ginger ale. Okay.
Oh,
So
thank you very much. All right, we'll take all of that nausea and
that's
channel it into
I'm
your
gonna
creativity
vomit
tonight.
onto the page. Yes.
All right, why don't you please follow Rusty off into our writer's nook? And
Okay.
it's time to introduce our final playwright for the evening. Our final playwright is a producer and writer known for such television phenomenons as What We Do in the Shadows, Frasier, News Radio, and Beavis and Butthead. He was nominated for 3 Primetime Emmys and 2 Writers Guild of America awards, and he used to play theater sports with Freestyle Repertory Theater. Please welcome Sam Johnson.
I'm here. I'm here. Hello.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm excited to be here. I want to win this. What do I win? I want to win this competition badly.
Yeah, and you might. And there is a great prize, which I will announce later. So just work really hard
Okay.
and be mean
Yeah.
if you have to,
Oh,
whatever it
I'll throw
takes.
some elbows for sure.
I know you will. I know you will. All right, let's bring all of our playwrights back onto the screen. Now, audience, this is where you need to open up your chat feature if you haven't already done so, because each playwright is going to ask you for a suggestion to kick off their play. And when they do that, if you have an idea, you got to write it in the chat. The playwrights will read out a couple of those chats and then choose their suggestions. All right. So why don't we start in the order in which we were introduced? Jeff Tarson, will you please ask for a suggestion from our
Yes,
audience?
I was thinking of what might be an interesting ask. So here's my question for you all. What is something that you keep in a bag, maybe in your attic or your basement or in a closet, something that you sort of, it's an unusual object that you sort of feel like you should have thrown that away, but you haven't. That's my question.
Good.
And something that you
I'm
sort of
very
keep
curious to know what the answer is. All right,
an
go
old, all
ahead.
right, here they
Pop
come. They're coming in. So something that you've kept, you're not sure why you've kept it, something a little unusual that you kept in the back somewhere. I've got old band uniform, antique doll, thigh master. Oh, these are some interesting ones. I'm going to see if there's any more coming in. These are great. Rubbing alcohol. That's interesting. All right, I am going to go with I'm going to go with thigh master, just because I haven't said those words in so long. Thank you very much.
All right. You got it, Laura Valpy.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm gonna kind of go a little bit with this theme because what I was thinking about to ask for, I wanted to ask for something old and something new. Not that this has anything to do with like what I'm not gonna plan a wedding scene or something. I just want 2 things, something old and something new. You don't have to tell
All
me which
right.
is which. But
Go ahead and pop on the chat. You could put in something old, you could put in something new,
yeah,
you could put in
you might
something
even
old
take
and
one of these.
new.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rosetta Stone and iPhone. An antique wooden doll, another antique doll. Nice. I did say cellulite and surgery to eliminate it. Yes, exactly. Uh, chopping bowl, paintbrush. All right, because there are 2, steel water bottle and oil camping lantern, Texas Instrument computer. Nice. I'm taking antique doll because that was said a couple times there was one for Jeff's. And then we'll call that the old thing. And then the new thing, a steel water bottle.
All right.
Breadboard and
Sounds
jar of
good.
pickles.
Thank
I
you
still
very
have 2.
much.
Okay, thank you.
Sam
Got it.
Johnson.
Yeah. I would like, please, a noise, a sound. What's a good
All
noise or
right.
sound? Anything?
Somebody pop in a noise or a sound.
A zoing. Wow, double zoings. What the? One zoing. Auga. Yeah. Alien enticement. I've not heard that sound, but I'm interested. Okay. Okay. These are great. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yippee yahooey. I'm going to do yippee yahooey as a sound. We're doing that.
All right. Excellent job. Now we're close to sending you off. Before we do so, can we please go back from the beginning, starting with Jeff Tarson, and review for the audience the suggestion that is going to inspire your individual spontaneous play?
Yes, the suggestion I got that will inspire my play in some way is Thigh Master.
And Laura Valby?
Yes, a wooden antique doll and a steel water bottle.
And Sam Johnson?
As for a sound, I have a lot of suggestions, but I'm going to go with yippee yahooey.
Excellent job. All right. Do keep your phones next to you, because all throughout your writing process, we are going to be sending you suggestions that we will ask you to incorporate into your play. And remember, whatever you write is amazing, so just vomit it all over the place and have a lot of fun. Are you folks ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, right away. All right, our writers are off, and at this point, I invite everybody else to please turn on your camera, turn on your microphone. It is time for our writing jam, and it is awesome to see you here. As you do realize, we are being live streamed, so please understand that if you come on screen, we are live streaming over Facebook and YouTube. The more people who come on screen, the more fun this whole writing jam thing is. So I would ask you to please come on stage and share yourself with us. All right, so we are going to spend the next 45 minutes together doing some spontaneous writing exercises, and we're going to take a nice improvisational approach to it, which is the idea that the first thought that pops into your mind, that's the thought that we want you to put out on your paper there. So we don't want any sense of thinking or editing or evaluating or judging. We just want to open up the floodgates of our unconscious and allow it to flood out. So, like we said earlier, it would be very helpful if you had a paper and a pen for this. And we're going to get started just with a little warm-up exercise, which is easy enough. This is just word association. I'm just going to say a word. You're going to write down on the paper the first word that pops into your mind. I will say 3 words, and you write down a word after each one, and then I'll just ask you to read out the 3 words that you wrote. So it's nice and simple and fun. Here we go. Let's give it a start. I will say 3 words. I'll pause for just a second or 2 in between to give you a chance to write, and then I'll ask you to read them out loud. So here we go. Rabbit.
What?
Oh, rabbit. Rabbit. Sorry about that. Vodka.
What?
I'm sorry. People are having a hard time hearing me for some
Yeah,
reason.
I don't.
Is that what's happening?
If I may suggest,
Okay.
don't bring the
Yes.
microphone up. It's overmodulating. So just leave it where it is.
Thank you very much. Okay, can you
Sure.
hear me now if I just speak
Mhm.
like this? All right, let's try it one more
Yes.
time. Here we go. We'll start from the very beginning. Here we go. Literature. Salad dressing. Monster. All right, and there you go. Would somebody kindly just break the ice and read out the 3 words that you wrote in response to those 3 words? Yvette?
Fast, book, vinegar, roar, roar.
Beautiful job. Thank you, Isolde.
Whole, Greek, and mash.
And Randy?
Novel, vinaigrette, and scary.
Amazing. Let's do it one more time. I will keep the microphone away from my mouth, and we'll do 5 words this time, and I'll give just a little bit less time in between each of those prompts. So 5 words, just let Every word pop out of your brain and right onto the page. Here we go. Ocean. Envelope. Wedding. Ditch.
What was
What?
that one?
Ditch. D-I-T-C-H. Ditch. Lumber. Lumber. All right, awesome job. Why don't we go in the reverse order this time? And if there's anybody off screen who wants to read, just let me know by calling out loud or something. Randy, would you go ahead and read out those 5 words for us?
Sure. I have cold, lick, party, accident, and peavy.
Beautiful. And Isolde?
I have blue, push, planner, digging, and deforestation.
Okay.
You're muted, Yvette.
Sorry. There we go.
That's
C, open, white, dirt, hard.
beautiful job. Is there anybody off screen who wants to read?
Yeah, this is Taj. I can read.
Okay, Taj, thanks.
Ocelot, sea monster, singer, date, and save.
All right, beautiful. We are going to move on to the next exercise. And again, this is all about spontaneous writing. So without any sense of editing or evaluation at all. And there is kind of a theme that I'm hoping to play around with and have some fun with tonight. And that is the idea of starting in the middle. This old concept in writing in which the idea is to start the action at a point where the characters are already involved in some situation or story, and the audience needs to catch up a little bit with what's going on, and that's part of what builds the suspense for the audience. So this time we're going to do a spontaneous writing, but I will ask you to continue writing for, let's call it 30 seconds, just 30 seconds of free flowing stream of consciousness writing. I'm going to give a prompt to start you off, and you're going to start with the sentence immediately following my prompt. My prompt is going to purposefully be something a little bit vague and not completely explained. So your job is to write from that point, but without feeling the need to explain everything that's going on. Just allow your story to pick up where I leave off, and don't worry if all of the information is not carefully explained to the audience. It's just a matter of starting in the middle and seeing how much fun you can have not explaining what's going on. All right, let's give it a shot. I'll give the prompt, and then I'll time 30 seconds, and you folks write for 30 seconds. Here we go. She felt the sting of the slap across her face. She felt the sting of the slap across her face. Go on. Another 15 seconds. All right, great job. Why don't we hear what some people wrote? Just starting from some point in the middle, not feeling obligated to over-explain it, and just going on from there. Isolde, thank you. Would you read out loud for us?
Sure. What are you doing? Sammy cried. Did it get you? Did what get me? Sammy robbed at her throbbing cheek. You had a bee on you, and I know you're allergic, Shelby replied as she rushed to the freezer to get ice.
Good job. Thank you so much. Yvette, would you kindly read for us?
Well, I don't know. I hope this is right. Anyway, but it shifted everything in her head all the way through her body like lightning struck her. She became a new person.
That's excellent. Yeah. The whole point, the whole fun of this and the whole point of this is that whatever you think is right is right. There is really no way to do this incorrectly. It is simply a matter of finding ways to untap some unconscious creativity and just letting it fly out. That was beautiful. Thank you. Randy, would you
Janella.
kindly read for us?
Oh,
Oh, all right, Janella, we'll come right to you. Let Randy
Okay.
read and then we'll have Janella.
It was unlike anything she'd felt before, and it took her by surprise. She wanted to scream, but she didn't dare out of fear.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, Janella.
she knew it was coming. She asked for it, but it still shook her. She dated him because she wanted to know what it was like to be treated badly by a man. Life had been just too good.
Awesome. Okay, beautiful. We're going to take a moment now because, believe it or not, already 10 minutes has gone by, and it's time to send our first suggestion back to the playwrights, a suggestion that they are all going to incorporate into their writing. So the first thing I'd like to ask for is a line of dialogue, and I'll go ahead and ask you to put that into your chat. So can somebody come up with some arbitrary line of dialogue, and we're going to send that back to our writers via text and ask them to incorporate that into their writing. All right, I see. Unclasp my bra, will you? So not exactly, let's see. That's not exactly what I meant. 3 strikes and you're out. Just drop it anywhere. All right. How about we'll take just drop it anywhere? I think that's the one that came in first. So I'm going to take a moment to say line of dialogue. Just drop it anywhere. All right, beautiful job. So they have that, and we'll see how they incorporated that into our work. Karen, thank you. Are you there with us? Karen Adams, awesome. Welcome aboard. All right, so we're going to jump back into our writing exercises. We're working on withholding certain information from the audience in order to increase the suspense or to somehow heighten the drama by what information is not revealed to the audience. And hello, Patty, welcome aboard. So
I can read.
Okay, did you want to read the last exercise?
Yeah.
Or, okay, go ahead, that would be great.
She thought to call 911, but knew it would anger him even more. She tried not to cry, but that was nearly impossible. So she looked him in the eye and said, "Never again."
Beautiful. Thank you very much. That was awesome. All right, next exercise. This is going to be a telephone conversation, and we're only going to hear one side of the conversation, as if we were listening to someone on the telephone. We would not hear what the other person is saying. Yeah. So I want you to, so what you're going to be writing is what the person who we are witnessing says over the telephone. So for example, you might write something like, well, yes, Dad, I'll be over there in 20 minutes. And then the next thing that you write would be what that character says after having listened to what their father said, right? So we're only going to, it's like we're going to hear a little scene, but we're only going to hear, you're only going to write every other line because that's all the audience would hear, kind of like those old Bob Newhart moments where he would talk on the telephone, right? So this is going to be a 5-line exercise. You're going to write 5 lines, and it's just going to be what we hear, 5 different sentences from the voice of the person that we can hear. Okay. To give you a prompt to keep it somewhat spontaneous, I'm going to offer you the person to whom you're speaking. I'm going to offer you the person to whom you're speaking, and then you folks are going to go and give this a shot. All right, here we go. So you are speaking to your estranged brother who you haven't spoken to in 10 years. Ready and go. And just another minute to work on this. Thirty more seconds, and then we'll share some 30 more seconds. All right, well done. Nice job. Why don't we hear some out loud? Hey, Karen Harrell, would you like to share what you wrote with us?
Yeah, I think I did it wrong. I was waiting for the second prompt of the 5, so mine's just a monologue.
Oh,
Were we
that's fine.
supposed to keep going,
What?
or I don't remember.
That's fine. Like I said before, whatever is generated as a result of the prompts is wonderful. The idea is that we're just hearing one side of a conversation.
Yeah,
But
well, you're only gonna hear one side.
okay,
That's
go
good.
ahead. I'm sure it's
Okay.
perfect.
No, I never was a first baseman in Little League. I was the mascot. You know, the one in the polyester chicken suit who baked in the hot New Jersey summer sun. I tried out for the team, but I never had the arm or natural flair for the game like you did. Yeah, I still have Dad's old mitt. So
Beautiful,
that
beautiful.
kind of
Isolde, will you read out what you wrote for us?
Sure. Rob, how did you find me? No way. I know you didn't get it from her. Because I never gave Mom this number. I'm just going to disappear again. No, this time you'll never find me. Hold on, someone's at the door.
Excellent. Randy?
Trust me, I didn't want to call you. I think you know why. You think that makes up for it? Give me a break, Todd. Stop. Just stop. Look, I'm calling you because Dad isn't doing well. Because he asked me to call you. He wants to see you one last time.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much. That I don't know how to tell you this, but you're upside down. Oh, okay. Yvette, would you like to read out loud for us, please? Oh, you're on mute, Yvette.
Okay. What the freak? How are you? You don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time? You want me to pay for what? You have a new growth? Hello? Hello?
It's awesome. Thank you. Anybody off screen care to read?
I'll go.
Okay, thank you,
Janella?
Janella. Yes, please.
I miss you and love you.
Oh.
Thank you. How is it up there? Are you with mom and dad? Are there all good people up there? I look forward to joining you one of these years. You know where he is,
Aw.
don't you?
Oh,
I think I do. In heaven?
Yes.
Or did he
oh.
just move up to the penthouse apartment in the building?
No, not with mom and dad.
Beautiful job. All right, my friends, believe it or not, we are coming up on 20 minutes. That means it's time to send another suggestion back to the writers. So here you go. Suddenly, one of the characters is going to look off into the corner of the space and discover some object there that they didn't notice before. What object does one of the characters suddenly discover in the space? While you're putting those into the chat, I'm going to let them know that they have 20 minutes left to write. And let's see. Ooh, a pocket watch. A spider web. All right, I'm going to combine those two. They're going to see a cobweb with a pocket watch in the center of it. Someone notices a cobweb with a pocket watch in the center of it. Awesome. All right. So now this next exercise, let's all approach this together. I will admit to you that this is an idea I had today based on a book that I've been reading lately, a technique the author uses very effectively. So I don't know. Let's just try it and let's just have some fun and we'll see what it is. Does anyone know an author named Richard Matheson? He's a old science fiction horror writer. And one of his techniques that I find very interesting, which kind of inspired this whole thing, is he has a very effective way of telling a story, but only providing certain information. Like you'll see characters in a scene, but you don't fully understand the context of the scene. And he does that on purpose. He doesn't tell you exactly what's going on because that adds kind of to the mystery of the thing. But the characters know what's going on. And of course, they react accordingly, but it allows the reader this really fun game of filling in the blanks, of imagining what's going on. So I thought it would be fun to see if we could model a little spontaneous exercise after that. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give certain prompts throughout the course of, I'm going to ask you to write something, and I'll give you a prompt to get started, and you're going to write spontaneously and freely. Every once in a while, I will freeze, and I will ask you to insert a sentence or an offer from me, and then to continue writing from after you write what I gave you. But here's the challenge. Rather than it being something that's going to make perfect sense and fit right into your story, it's going to be something that is a bit mysterious. The characters know what it is, but the audience won't. So your job is to keep writing as if the characters are aware of and reacting to the circumstance going on, even though the audience will never be told what it is. If that doesn't make 100% sense, something wonderful will happen, I'm sure. But the bottom line is all you got to do is stop writing when I say stop, put in what I ask you to put in, and then resist explaining it, but just have the characters continue on as if something is affecting them, or if they're aware of something. All right, this is going to work. This is going to work. We'll just take it nice and easy and we'll have some fun. All right, are you ready, Seth?
I'll observe this one.
All right, all right. Just open your mind, have fun. Here we go. The first thing you need to do is imagine for yourself a circumstance in which your story is taking place. For example, it could be there's a thunderstorm, or it could be there's a zombie apocalypse, or it could be they're in a submarine under the sea, something like that. And that you are going to keep to yourself. Do not put into your story what that is, but just know that it's true and write it as if that's true. Okay. And you're going to start with the following sentence and then just start writing. And this will all make sense. And you just wait and see. All right. Everybody, imagine your circumstance. We're going to start right in the middle of your story. And it starts with these words. It was late. It was late.
So then we write from there. Is
Yeah,
that
just
what
start.
we do?
Correct. You're starting a story. You're starting in the middle of a story with the phrase "it was late," and just start writing. All right. Now finish the sentence you're writing, and then write this. Right. The explosions were getting louder. And then continue the story, but don't explain what the explosions are. Just the characters know, and the story continues, but the audience is not to know what's causing the explosions. The
Continuing the
explosions,
same stories before?
correct. The explosions were getting louder. All right, we're going to pause for a moment because we need to send another suggestion back to the audience. And then when we continue, I'll give you another suggestion for your writing. So let's say there is some emotion that suddenly overtakes all of the characters in the plays they're writing. So what one emotion will suddenly take over all of the characters in the play? Wait, I have to think about this. Jealousy. How about that's a good one. Every character suddenly becomes extremely jealous. All right, now back to your story. Please insert this line and then continue on again. The line is, the explosions shook the very earth. The explosions shook the very earth. And continue writing. Remember, the audience will never know what those explosions are exactly. All right, one more prompt. Finish the sentence you're in. One more prompt for the story exercise, and that prompt is: the explosions started to fade. They were done for the night. The explosions started to fade. They were done for the night. One more minute, and then we'll wrap this one up. Fifteen more seconds. All right, go ahead, put the final word or two down, and let's wrap that up. Shake out your hands. Great job, everybody. Thank you for experimenting with me on that. I know that was a little confusing, perhaps, but I appreciate everybody just jumping in and giving it a shot. Let's take a moment to give our writers one final suggestion for their work, and then we can hear some of what we wrote out. So let's see. How about some food will become incredibly important at the end of their play? What type of food becomes incredibly important at the end of their play? Chewing gum, cannoli, fried grasshoppers. All right. Well, I did see chewing gum first, so we'll go with chewing gum. Give me one moment to give them their suggestion, please, and then we'll come back and we'll read our stories. All right, they've got that. And now, would anybody or everybody go ahead? Somebody offered to read out your story. Thank you, Isolde. All right. Thank you.
Sure, why
thank
not?
you. Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
Okay. It was late. Linda rushed through the white curtains that led into the antechamber. Damn, she whispered it as she stubbed her toe on the low step. The wood floor had been polished to a bright sheen and shone in the moonlight that streamed through the open windows. A furious hiccup erupted out of her, and Linda tried to calm her breathing. She'd come here to do the opposite of panic. Anxiety is just a con man, she whispered her mantra to herself and ran faster. The explosions were getting louder. Damn it, she whispered again. They had said if she didn't show up on time for the midnight session, she might as well not show up at all because it would do her no good to start late. Okay, I've got this. Linda unrolled her bundle right in the middle of the room and stood on it. She formed a complicated figure with her fingers and waved it in a wide figure 8. Every few seconds, she gazed up at the domed ceiling. The cacophony around her roared. She stared into the pinpoint of moonlight that came through a hole in the ceiling. The explosions shook the very earth. I suck at this, she shouted into the darkness. Find someone else. Do you hear me? Find someone else. Exhausted, she crumpled to the floor. The explosions started to fade. They were done for the night. Again, your work had no effect. The melodious voice belonged to Master Yang. I told you. I suck at this, Linda huffed. You will learn, Master Yang said. In time, you will be its master.
Wow, beautiful. That was gorgeous. Thank you so much. Let's hear some, and then we can kind of just talk about, how it was working that way, or what the effect was on the audience. But to me, that was like incredibly compelling. The less, that the facts that I didn't know everything made it so much more intriguing to find out what was going on. Randy, would you do us the favor?
I don't know if I want to follow that. Holy moly.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it.
Isolde types much faster than I do.
That's all right. No worries at all.
All right.
I was the
late.
secretary far longer than you were, I bet.
I can type fast. My brain just can't go as fast. It was late. It was always on time. Every day. Twice a day. Just not today. But why? That was the question. He looked at his watch for the millionth time. The explosions were getting louder. He wondered if the far-off noises could have anything to do with it. He hoped not. Everything was riding on this, and explosions were most definitely not part of the plan. The explosion shook the very earth. He didn't want to admit it, but he knew in his heart that all of his hard work had just been blown to smithereens. After months of careful planning, he now had to start over, from the beginning. He saw the plumes of black smoke begin to rise on the other side of the mountain, followed closely by the faint sounds of sirens. The explosions started to fade. They were done for the night. And so was he. He grabbed his bag, slung it over his shoulder, and walked back to his car. He turned to look back one last time, got in his car, and drove away.
Wow, awesome. I'm shocked at how well everybody is doing with this. Like when you said everything was riding on this, I was just as invested in that moment as if I had known what was going on. Like the fact that I didn't have all of that information didn't separate me from the emotion of the character or the suspense of the drama. If anything, it enhanced it because I was all the more intrigued trying to figure out what was going on. Karen, would you like to share?
Yeah, or anybody who's off screen might want to, or something like that.
We'll have just 3 minutes after you read for other people to
Yeah,
read
so
if
let
they
them
want to.
go. Yeah.
Is there anyone off screen who would like to read?
Yeah, this is Taj. I can read.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Karen. It was late. We were worried because James hadn't gotten back yet. We turned on the radio to see if we could get any information about what was going on, but all we got was the oldies station. Suddenly, the door burst open. James came in, wild-eyed and amped up. He seemed angry and scared at the same time. We both tried to calm him down, but he was having none of it. I walked over and opened the big window in the living room, letting in some fresh night air. James sat on the busted couch and started weeping. His hands shook as he tried to light a cigarette. "We don't smoke in here," I said. The explosions were getting louder. James looked at me with his moist eyes and sneered. I stood my ground, and he put the pack of cigarettes back in his jean jacket pocket. He got up and started pacing. I closed the window with a slam. Andrea went to the old radio and tried again, but now it was just static. I went over to her and started rubbing her shoulders. "Hush," I said, trying to get her to sit. She started pacing like a caged animal. "Damn it," exclaimed James, throwing his jacket across the room. The explosions shook the very earth. We all looked at each other without a word. James went over to Andrea and hugged her tightly. I sat on the floor and stared into nothing. Andrea tried to break free of the tight hug, but James held her until she started crying and kept on holding her. James looked at me over Andrea's shaking shoulders, and something passed between us. I picked up his jacket, fishing out the crumpled packet of cigarettes, and lit 2 of them from one of the candles on the coffee table. The explosions started to fade. They were done for the night. The cloud of smoke above our heads thickened as we sat huddled together, all 3 of us on the sprung couch.
Oh, beautiful. What gorgeous writing we have tonight. That was lovely. And once again, it was like the explosions sometimes would seem like they were just enhancing the emotions, somehow metaphorically enhancing the emotions or representing the emotions, but just knowing that there was something going on outside affecting the characters was really exciting. Okay, I think we will have time for one more. Is there anybody else off screen who wants to read?
No
Karen,
one,
you
if
want to?
no,
Oh,
oh, go ahead. No,
go
if
ahead.
no
No,
one
no,
else,
that's fine.
no, if no
Please,
one else
Janella.
wants, okay.
Well, we could do both. That's perfectly fine.
It was late and I couldn't understand what he was saying. Was it his voice or some of my ear damage? They bit him in the neck. They blew water in my ear. I think he said, run, get off the beach. The beach. Or did he say, bitch? Get off the beach, bitch. He shouldn't have let us swim in the Gulf. The explosions were getting louder. We ran on the sand and kept falling. Getting up. Some were running to get off the beach. Some were running into the water. All had the same objective: hide from the explosions. There was a hole in the sand and I jumped in. The explosion shook the very earth. I was drawn deep into the sand hole. Small creatures crawled over my body. I was itching, but I couldn't make a sound lest I be heard. Scratch, itch, scratch, itch. Blood on the sand, more bugs loving blood. All of a sudden, I looked up. The explosions started to fade. They were done for the night. My ears were ringing. My skin was burning. I climbed out of the hole, and there was, huh? What are you doing here? He was covered in blood. We both hugged and walked back to the raft, sailing back to what did the explosions do to our memory? Where are we? Why are we here? Huh? The end.
Oh, that was fantastic. Awesome job. Hello, welcome back. All right, 45 minutes has elapsed. I gave our writers the call to come back. Karen, would you like to read yours before we go into our break? Writers, if you'll just tune in.
Either way, or we, yes, I don't care.
Yeah, go ahead.
Either way.
We were doing an exercise in which they were writing a story based on the first line of the story. It was getting late was my prompt, or it was late was my prompt. And then we were working on building suspense by withholding information from the audience. So the instructions were every time you hear something about the explosions, that was my prompt to them, and their instruction was to have their characters be affected by it, but never to explain to the audience what was going on.
Yeah,
And,
maybe I'll skip. Mine never got affected by it.
Oh,
I'll skip it. I left.
All right.
I guess I didn't sync up today.
That's all right. Is
They-
there anyone else who would like
yeah.
to read before we? All right. Well, writers, then you'll never get a chance to hear any of them, but I promise you they were awesome. All right, my friends, we are back. The writers are back. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a 10-minute intermission. During that time, the writers are going to email their scripts to each other all across the country, cast their plays. We're going to come back in 10 minutes. And then when we come back in 10 minutes, we're going to do readings, world premiere readings of the scenes that we wrote based on your suggestions. So audience, we'll give you a 10-minute intermission. And let's see, just to coordinate that, right now I have 22 minutes after the hour, 22 minutes after the hour. So everybody, please come back at 32 minutes after the hour. When you come back, please keep your cameras off and your microphones off. And then our writers and actors will entertain you. So have a great intermission, and we'll see you at 32 minutes after the hour. Bye-bye. We'll see you soon, not bye. All right, my friends, welcome back. Great job. Shall we go about and cast our plays?
I just sent mine out
Yes.
to everybody. You're all in it under your actual names. So
Sam, that's just your thing.
it's my thing. Helps me.
Inspiration. I did the same thing. I've got Sam and Ken. Actually, Ken, would you please read Kendrita? A little old
Is it a
lady.
woman
She's-
or okay?
It's a little old lady.
All right.
Yes. So
Thank you,
yes, I'll send that now.
Jeff Jarson.
Yes, okay. And mine's a 2-character play. Melissa will be Valpy, would you play Melissa?
Yeah.
And Dan is the other character. And Sam, will you play Dan? Sorry, I'm not
All
looking.
right.
Is that a yes? Okay. He nodded. All right. Good.
Sorry, I was muted. You're right, but yes, I will absolutely play Dan.
Okay, I'm say this is a PDF and I'll send it out in just a second.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, go, go, go. All right, we have 6 more minutes, everybody. 6 more minutes. That was a fun jam. Five minutes, everybody. 5 minutes. 3 minutes, everybody. We're going to start Act 2 in 3 minutes. Was there a time where I sent the wrong amount of time you had left, or did the amount of time you always had left feel correct all the time?
I think it felt correct. Did
Okay,
anybody
maybe I
else
did,
notice
because
that?
I do math in my head very poorly, and I was looking at the numbers I was sending you, and I thought, oh no, I meant to say X, but I said Y, and now I think I just gave them more time than they had a minute ago. But I'm glad it all worked out. All right, we're a minute and a half away. We'll go, let's see, what is it? Jeff, Laura, and then Sam. And please remember to tell the audience what your suggestions were as we kick off.
The title of yours.
I know I came up with that title at the end. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like sticky title number
I'm so excited.
255. But anyway, what can you do?
I'm so excited. Oh my God.
All right, 30 seconds, everybody. We're going to start in 30 seconds. All right, my friends, we are going to get started. Everybody, come on back, come on back. And as I asked before, kindly keep your videos off at this point and your sound off. We're going to get started with our plays. Before we jump into the plays, let me make a couple of quick announcements. First of all, thank you all so much for being here. We know you have many spontaneous creative writing jams and playwriting shows with which you can spend one Monday a month, and we appreciate you spending it with us. Freestyle Repertory Theater and Synergy Theater are nonprofit organizations. We greatly appreciate the largesse of our donors and patrons and friends. If you would like to make a small but well-needed donation to either of our companies or to both of them, I put our website addresses in the chat, freestylerep.org and synergytheater.com. Please go ahead and do that. We would appreciate that. We have a Facebook group called Right Away Afterwards. And if you join it, it is only for people who have attended a Right Away performance. And we share thoughts about writing and different things that we're writing and different upcoming announcements about our work. So pop on Facebook and join Right Away Afterwards. The link is there in the chat for you. Our next show is Monday, August 26th, and the registration link is available right now, and I put that in the chat as well. So come back Monday, August 26th, and have some more fun with us at Right Away. All right. After the show, after our final play is read, for those of you who would like to stick around for a while, we'll have a brief, maybe 5 or 6 minute talk back in which we can thank the writers for their work, chat about the writing process, chat about the jam, anything you like. So right after the show is done, if you want to stick around, just turn your camera back on and we'll be here chatting. All right, now let's take it away. Jeff Tarson, you're up first.
Yes. All right. So to remind everybody, the suggestion I got at the beginning was Thigh Master. And I guess we'll find out. Hopefully you all remember what the suggestions were as it went along. But this is a 2-character play. So I am going to turn off my video and I will read the stage directions as they come along. The title of the play, the working title of the play, shall we say, is Thigh Time for a Change. The basement of a home. Dan, high-strung, late 50s, is holding a Thigh Master and reading the manual.
Place on the floor or flat location, adjust as necessary, yada yada. Okay, just do it. I mean, how hard can it be?
Dan places the Thigh Master down and tries to insert himself into it or around it.
Okay, what the? Wait. Okay, that can't be right. Oh yeah, here we go. Ah!
It springs away from him.
God damn it!
Dan, what's going on down there? Are you okay?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just looking for something down here. Do you know where the WD-40 is?
Melissa, a little younger, appears at the top of the stairs and comes down.
In the garage, of course. Why would it be down here in the...
She spots the Thigh Master.
Honey, really?
What? I'm trying to get in shape. Not look like a senior citizen like you said.
I said you don't look like you're a senior citizen.
It's the way you said it.
Here, let me have it. You probably don't even know how it works.
She takes the Thigh Master from him.
No, I'll put it back. Which box do you want it in?
Just drop it anywhere. You are such a silly man. Who cares if you're getting a little older now?
Ah, well, now the truth comes out. You do think I'm old. That's it. I'm joining a gym. Maybe I should take up that Pilates everyone does.
Thigh Master, Pilates? No offense, but these aren't exactly cutting-edge workouts.
Oh, so now I'm old-fashioned too.
Dan.
Maybe we should go get a special discount at Denny's, if I can find my teeth.
Dan, come on. Jim was just making a joke. He didn't really think you should retire.
That's what everyone says when they do think you should retire. What's the point? I mean, I can't fight time. I just don't see myself as old somehow. I see myself as mature.
What's that?
What? A bald spot? Where? I knew I saw some extra hair in the shower.
No. In the corner over there. That cobweb. There's something stuck to it.
I told you we should clean this place out more regularly. There might be mice down here, or even worse.
Melissa is digging through the cobweb.
Careful. What is it? Don't touch that.
How can I know what it is if I don't touch it? You're such a...
Old fogey, right? Go ahead, say it.
I was going to say drama queen.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that.
It's a pocket watch. Looks really old, but I don't recognize it. It's got an inscription. Time heals all wounds. Love, Allie.
She turns to Dan, jealous.
Who is Allie? You've never mentioned any Allie. Who is she?
What? I don't know. Never seen that watch before in my life. You're the one who collects old things, not me. It's probably yours. I could ask you the same. Who's Allie? Is it that roommate you had in college? The one you said had a crush on you and wanted you to go to Lilith Fair with her?
No, that was Pamela. I told you she moved to Ireland.
It's not my watch.
It's not mine either. I thought we agreed. No secrets. We'd always tell each other the truth.
I am. And clearly you've been happy to tell me how old I look.
Dan, enough. I love you. I still love you just as much as I did when we met.
Prove it.
Okay, here.
Melissa walks over to a pile of boxes and pulls out one from the bottom. She opens it and starts looking through it as she speaks.
You know, Jim doesn't want you to retire. No one wants you to retire. He just wants to make sure you don't overdo it now that you're
Careful, careful.
maturing. And I will always see you as the young man I met at that novelty shop. In fact,
Well, she pulls out a small package of bubble gum.
I still have this. It's the chewing gum you bought me when we talked about vintage comic books and you showed me your Speed Racer lunchbox. And when I knew that I had met the man, then I knew that I had met the man I wanted to marry.
She hands him the gum. He smiles.
But what about the watch?
Who cares whose it is? Maybe it's more important what it says.
Time heals all wounds. Time isn't a villain. It can be a hero. It can be a good thing,
It can be a good thing.
especially if you spend it getting old with the right person.
She hands him a piece of gum. They each take one and start chewing. Lights fade.
Oh, so sweet.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
Good
It's
job.
high time for a change.
That's
Awesome
right.
job. Thank you very much, Jeff Tarson. All right, Laura Valpy, please take it away.
Sure. Remind me to not ask for 2 suggestions. Just stick with one. No, it's great. I did ask for 2 suggestions. The 2 suggestions I got were a wooden antique doll and a steel water bottle. And this will feature the acting talents of Sam and Ken. I'll read stage directions. There we go. That's it. Here we go. All right, in Central Park at a drinking fountain, Sam attempts to fill up a steel water bottle from the drinking fountain, but the low arch of the water and the angle at which he has to hold the bottle make it a very slow-going process. More spills out than gets in. Waiting patiently in line is Kendrita, a frail old woman holding a wooden antique doll. She speaks to the doll.
Well, that's all right now, Dolores. We'll wait our turn like everyone else.
Oh, come on.
Now, Dolores, we mind our own business, don't we? No need sticking our noses where it doesn't belong.
Damn it.
Yes, I know, Dolores. It sure is a hot one today. I know you could use a nice cool drink from that there water fountain, but that water fountain belongs to everyone. Everyone who lives in this big, beautiful city of ours.
Ma'am, I see you. I hear you. I just ran the loop twice, and so damn it, this stupid thing.
Just drop it anywhere.
I'm training for the marathon, see, and I just got this.
Just drop it anywhere, young man.
Well, you see, I just got this aluminum water bottle because it's so lightweight, see? Well, when it's empty, obviously, but that's supposed to make it easier to.
Just drop it anywhere and drink from the fountain yourself, like the rest of us do.
Yeah, but germs. I mean, I'm training for a marathon, see, and so I can't take any risks.
Oh, did you hear that, Dolores? This young man is preparing for a big race all around this big, beautiful city of ours. Yes, I know you're thirsty, Dolores. I am too.
Oh, I've been hogging the water fountain. I'm so sorry, ma'am. It's this damn, you're right. I'm dropping it.
Sam chucks his water bottle over the nearby fence and into the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir.
My, yes, Dolores. Yes, he did just litter. This man is a litterer.
Oh my God. I don't know why I did that. I mean, I do. I was just so mad. And you said drop it anywhere. You and your crazy doll made me do it. You made me a litterer. And you want me to get germs? You want me to get sick and not run the marathon. You're just some crazy old lady with a crazy old doll.
He starts backing away from her.
Tick, tock, tick, tock.
She steps closer to him. He backs further away.
Ah, what is this? I'm stuck.
Sam has backed into a big, thick spider web and is stuck next to a pocket watch in the center of it.
Well, now, I think it's finally our turn, Dolores. It's about time. I do love a little joke now and then.
Kendrita advances to the water fountain, presses the button, and lowers her doll's mouth under the flow of the water.
Help! Help! Anyone!
We don't litter, do we, Dolores?
Help! Help!
We don't throw anything away, ever. But we do need to do our part to keep our city clean, don't we, Dolores?
Anyone! Please, I'm stuck.
So many busy New Yorkers out for their runs, listening to their miniature ear speakers. Do you think, Dolores, do you think that they are all training for a marathon too? As if their youth and vigor and miles covered lets them lay claim to the land? So the less they care what gets in their way, the more this city belongs just to them. What you and I would do with our youth back, what you and I, Dolores, would do with it.
Please, let me go. I just want to be out there running with them. I'll leave the park. You won't ever see me again.
What's that, Dolores? Someone stuck chewing gum to the water fountain? Oh, we'll get them, Dolores. If we have to sit here all day, we'll catch them in the act next time.
I'll clean it. I'll scrape it off, all of it, all the fountains, all over the park. I will, I swear. Just let me go.
What do you think, Dolores? No, you're right. Germs.
End of play. Thanks, guys.
I love that.
I really loved your reading. I was like,
that was so much fun. I like
Sure.
having powers. All right, excellent job. Thank you so much. Sam Johnson, you're going to be our final playwright for the day. Before we let Sam take the screen, let me remind everybody that in the chat, you'll find a link to register for our next Right Away, which is Monday, August 26th. Please come back. You'll find a link to sign up and join our Facebook group right away afterwards. We'd love to interact with you there. And freestylerep.org, synergytheater.com are both in there if you want to pop on and give us a donation. We'd appreciate it. After Sam's reading, stick around for a few minutes for the talk back. Mr. Johnson, please take it away.
Okay. This play is really called Yippee Yahooey, but I didn't write that down, and so I don't know. I feel like there's a good chance this is not going to make any sense, but listen, maybe it will. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. All right, I'm going to read the stage directions. Everyone is in it. Okay. I asked for a sound. Sorry, I asked for a sound or a noise, and I got Yippee Yahooey, and so that's what we're starting with. Two men stand near a microphone. We're on the set of a radio show. Two men stand near a microphone. Ken, the announcer, and Jeff, the not-so-bright star. To the side, near a table of sound effects gear, an exhausted-looking woman, Laura, stands by to bring the drama to life.
And a great big KFAB welcome to our listeners as you tune in once again to another rootin' tootin' rustlin' bustlin' episode of Yippee Yahooey!
Yippee Yahooey!
Last week, you may remember, we left our intrepid cowpoke Jeff Shooter trapped up in that windy cave in the high Sierras. But little did old Jeff know he wasn't alone. There was a doggone wildcat sharing cave space with him. Now, Jeff may be pretty good with 6-shooters, but if you have been a-listening to Yippee Yahooey,
Yippee Yahooey!
for a very long time, you remember Jeff lost his 6-shooter down in Lonesome Lake when his trusty horse Baxter nearly stepped on a water moccasin.
Doggone it, I lost my darned 6-shooter.
So, how will Jeff get out of this tight situation without his trusty side iron? Let's listen in and find out.
Now listen up, Wildcat. There's a darn blizzard out there, and trees are falling left and right. There's no reason we can't share this space and wait it out together. No harm, no foul. I got some jerky in my pocket. I'd be happy to share it.
Just drop it anywhere.
Sorry, Jeff and Ken look at each other, confused. Jeff looks through the script, uncertain what is happening.
Just drop your jerky. I'd love some.
Jeff covers the mic and turns to Ken.
She is a wildcat, am I right? I mean, can a wildcat talk?
What are you doing? Just keep doing the sound effects. Be a wildcat.
Ken regains composure and speaks into the mic as the announcer.
The walls of the cave have a strange effect on the noises inside, and to Jeff's cowboy ears, the sounds are like real human talk. But it is only the wildcat snarling. Listen.
You can stay here in the cave, but I'm claiming the back wall away from the entrance, where it's warmer.
This is not in the script, Ken. Now, I was told Lucy L'Amour was coming in to play a love scene with me next week, and if this is how the producers want to shortchange me out of my scene, I am not having it.
Jeff's trail-weary brain is hallucinating, causing him to believe he is hearing a woman and not a wildcat. But that is definitely a wildcat in the cave.
Really? Would a wildcat keep a pocket watch and a spider's web in this cave? I don't think so.
Now, goddammit, Ken, what the hell is this shit?
Jeff.
Sorry, I mean, what in tarnation is this falderall? A watch in a spider web? Now, I know that ain't in the script.
Well, maybe you should just roll with it, Jeff. Try acting for a change. People might enjoy it.
What did she just say?
Just do the sound effects. You are ruining this show.
There's that wildcat.
Yes,
Actually,
at last. There it is.
No, I am a woman. I am a woman who sometimes sounds like a wildcat. I lived in a city and had a good job at a radio station doing sound effects, and then the job started to make me crazy because nobody recognized me as a human being. I was just the sound effects person, even though I have a great voice for the radio. So I lost my mind a little bit and moved into this cave, and now you found me, and I'm ready to have adventures with you and not do sound effects anymore.
But you're good at sound effects. We need you.
Are we in the show still or in real life? I'm super confused, Ken.
Here's the problem. I was too good at sound effects, and people just kept asking me to do more and more of them. Some are easy. A crow caws. Caw-caw. A train whistle is heard in the distance. But some sounds are really hard. The wind whispers through the trees like the wings of a winter white owl. How the heck do I make that sound?
Are you kidding? That's easy. I could do that in my sleep. Ooh, 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 ooh. I want your job. I could do it all day.
Well, I'm jealous. I want to talk more. I want Ken's job.
You joking? How can you even say that? My job is stupid. I want Jeff's job. I can act like crazy.
They're silent for a moment, and then wordlessly decide to rearrange their jobs right there on the radio show.
And the great big KFAB, welcome to our listeners as you tune in once again to another rootin' tootin' rustling bustling episode of Yippee-Yahoo!
Yippee-Yahoo!
Last week, you may remember we left our intrepid cowpoke Jeff Shooter trapped up in that windy cave in the high Sierras. But little did old Jeff know, he wasn't alone. There was a doggone wildcat sharing cave space with him. You probably remember Jeff lost his 6-shooter down a lonesome lake with his trusty horse Baxter and nearly stepped on a water moccasin.
Doggone it, I lost my darn 6-shooter.
So how will Jeff get out of this tight situation without his trusty side iron? Let's listen in and find out.
Good news. I forgot I traded some of my jerky for bubble gum back at the trading post. I knowed it would come in handy. Now, I get this gum all worked up. I just need to get it caught in this wildcat's fur.
Jeff and Ken make scuffling noises.
Got him. Sorry, girl, you'll be getting that gum out of your fur all night. Time for me to get away.
And with that, Cowboy Jeff snuck right out of that old cave and got himself home. And that's all we got time for. Thank you, folks, for tuning in to Yippee Yahooey.
Yippee yahoo!
Stay tuned for Glenn Pierce's Happy Time Bowling Hour.
The on-air sign in the studio goes off. The show's over.
We did it!
We did it!
We did it!
You're fired!
Shit.
And as lights fade, we hear. The end.
Excellent.
Oh
Sam,
my gosh.
you won!
You won. You definitely won.
You
Yes.
did it,
I
man.
think that was
No
maybe
doubt.
one of my favorite parts to read.
That was awesome. My friends,
Wow.
thank you, three of you, so much for being here. Everybody out there watching us tonight, thank you so much. Come back next month. All of the information is in the chat. If you want to stick around and say hi to the writers and just chat with us for a few moments, we'll be doing that right after the show when we sign off. My name is Ken Adams. This is Synergy Theaters and Freestyle Repertories Theaters Right Away. Bye-bye, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.